Have you ever noticed how dark the humor in Amphibia is? Always joking about characters going missing, this guy's been in a sky all season, and a lot of them end really abruptly,
like our own lives, often taken before our time has seemingly arrived.
but the slapstick's pretty good. What's up guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Cody Hansel, and welcome back to my channel, where I know the difference between the changing of eye colors and an animation error. Today, we're talking about Amphibia, specifically Season 1. A, because Season 2 isn't done yet, and B, the two are very distinct from each other. They're part of the same narrative, of course, but they exemplify a common trend you see in television to an extreme. But before we get into that, for anyone who's new or hasn't seen the show, what is Amphibia? Amphibia is a show created by Thai American Bat Braley. Bat Matt. Stupid. All three of those were stupid. Thai American Matt Braley about Thai American Ann Boon Choi, who ends up transported to a world full of talking frogs, giant creatures, and weird magics called Amphibia. She quickly befriends a young frog named Sprig Planter and moves in with his family, consisting of Polly, Sprig's tadpole little sister, who can and will end your life, and Hopadiah Planter, aka Hop Hop, aka the family patriarch. Season 1 focuses on telling the story of Ann and the Planters' adventures in Wartwood. Ann spends nearly the entirety of the first season meeting new characters, learning about the world, and eventually earning her spot as a member of the community, one that initially called her a monster. And that's where we're going to start, because there's a lot to get into about Ann's development as a character. From time to time, I've seen the statement that Ann seems to cause the same problems for the same reasons quite a bit in this series, just with a few different characters thrown into the mix. My hang-ups with this specifically are as follows. One, it makes sense for a character to be the source of similar problems if the motivation is consistent with the character's personality and in turn leads to new growth for that character. 2, the motivation behind her antics, I forgot I wrote this, changes as she grows as a character. Take for example the episodes Best Franz and Grubhog Day. Both are set after high narrative points in the season. They are a perfect way to milestone developments in Ann's character. In both episodes, Ann convinces Sprig to do something that goes against what he's been told to do. Shenanigans ensue, resolution. The big difference between the episodes, however, is the motivator. In Best Franz, Ann just wants to get out of the house. She doesn't care how, she just uses Sprig as a means to an end, and learns a lesson for it. In Grubhog Day, instead of offering up the idea so she can go to the fair and ride all the rides, she gives Sprig the idea that allows him to have his cake and eat it too. And to be fair, it almost goes off without a hitch. Insert shenanigans. This single difference in motivation is what I believe is the reason for so many problems seeming similar in cause from episode to episode. We spend the two halves of season 1 comparing how Ann has grown as a person living in Wartwood. She's less selfish, more likely to defend herself, and learns to work as a group, both as a leader and as a member. All things she didn't get to do as much back home. Going back to Best Franz, this episode sets up two really important things. One, that the music box is how she got here, assuming you somehow didn't see the fantastic intro, and that she was not the leader of her group of friends. In the beginning of the episode, we flash back to Ann stealing the music box and Sasha and Marcy and herself getting transported to Amphibia. Later on, we get this scene.
And if a friend wants you to steal a crazy music box from a thrift store, even if you really don't want to, you do it, okay?
It wasn't Ann's idea to steal the music box. She was pushed by her friends to do so and had to suffer the consequences with them. She succumbed to peer pressure, the same peer pressure that she forces Sprig to succumb to in that episode. Later on in the season, we're shown the source of that peer pressure, Sasha. We find out she's popular, persuasive, and cunning enough to know how to manipulate people to do her bidding. We're also shown that she does care about Ann and Marcy, making it her mission to find the others and get home. But does she care about them more than she cares about power?
Watch the season and find out.
Finally, there is a distinct difference in the feeling between seasons 1 and 2 of Amphibia, the reason why they're going to be two separate videos. Where it's typical for the first season of a series to focus on the world and the characters, and the narrative gets more complex and more pushed later on, Amphibia pushes it to an extreme. It makes sense considering that the show is structured in parts and not seasons, which I'm just now realizing I should have mentioned at the beginning, but I've already written this entire script. So to put it simply, I describe part 1 as a comedy with narrative elements, where part 2 so far is an adventure comedy narrative. Semantics aside, don't skip out on part 1 just to get to the more narratively focused part 2. Otherwise, you're missing out on some of the funniest dialogue and slapstick the show has to offer, which, believe me, you'll need before season 2 pounds your heart into an emotional little pulp. And the best part? It's not even over yet. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite episode of Amphibia is. Mine will be down there as well. Be sure to like the video if you made it to the end. Share it with somebody who needs to watch Amphibia and needs convincing from a very persuasive person. And if you want to support me personally, subscribe, follow on socials down below, join Discord, buy some merch, or more importantly, come by the Animation Talk Show every Sunday at 4 p.m. Central Time over at my Twitch channel. Links down below. One last time, it's great. You get to talk to me live and we get to share opinions about cartoons. Thank you for watching, and remember,
The abyss stares back. Peace.